I didn't even see y'all there. Y'all see this? Y'all see this title, man? We finna react to this Walmart manager. You know what I'm saying? Killed like 6 of his employees or some shit like that. Shit crazy, man. But if y'all don't know who I am, man, I'm Terrell from AV, man. I'm hotboxing with Terrell, man. So make sure y'all like and subscribe, man, and stay tuned. And I got some heat dropping on Christmas. So other than that, let's get straight into this video, man. And don't mind me, man, because I gotta react off my phone today, because something wrong with my fucking laptop. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened to it. Like, this bitch, like, it keep freezing up or some weird shit going on with it. But let's get into this video, man.
Next guest is an eyewitness to the deadly shooting inside that Walmart. She says she worked alongside the shooter one day before the tragedy and was inside of that break room when the suspect opened fire. Her name is Breonna Tyler. She's only been a Walmart employee, she tells, for a couple of months, and she joins us now live from her home. Breonna, thank you for taking the time for being with us. How are you? How are you doing today?
I'm still processing things. I can't get the visual out of my head, but I'm okay physically, of course, but just mentally and emotionally, it's definitely a lot to take in. It definitely is a lot, but I'll be okay.
I'm glad to hear that. Being able to focus on that, I can't imagine. So tell us about those moments. You said processing it. What are you processing?
Well, I was literally just getting to work. Our shift is from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. I got there a few minutes late. About 10:06 is when I clocked in on my phone. I walked to the break room like normal. That's where we have our nightly meeting of where everyone's going to be, stocking their particular section. And, I'm just standing there. There were a few things that seemed like off to me about that.
The crazy part is that you wouldn't even think it would be your manager. You feel me? Like, that shit is crazy to me, bro. Like, people be doing some weird shit. Like, what was the whole point of killing your employees and shit? Like, what did you gain out of that shit? You feel me? Like, this whole situation is crazy to me. And then on top of that, like, I ain't even know how to, like, piece this shit together. Like, when I first found out about this shit, I was just like, man, like, come on, dog. Like, what you do that for? What was your purpose? Like, what purpose was you trying to serve? Was you trying to get clout? Was you, what? Like, my nigga, what the fuck, bro? Nowadays, motherfuckers just be killing motherfuckers for clout and all that other bullshit. You feel me? Like, shit ain't worth it, folks. I need to get y'all stuff together, whatever the fuck y'all need to do, bro.
That they stick out more to me now that situation has happened. Like,
this shit crazy.
Just different things, like the maintenance man, who actually the first person to end up getting hit, he actually went around the entire room and gave everyone trash bags, which he doesn't normally does. So that stuck out to me. And then, like, when I walked in the room, something in me told me not to sit down. I don't know exactly what it was, but something just said, just stand up, just stand up. And I just stood up the entire time. And as soon as the team lead said he was about to get the meeting started, he said, all right, guys, we have a really light night tonight. And as soon as he said that, the supervisor or the manager just came around the corner and literally just opened fire and just started swaying his arm back and forth. He didn't have a target. He didn't, he wasn't aiming for anybody specifically. He literally was just shooting across the entire break room.
It's terrifying. I mean, that just sounds unimaginable. And how did you keep yourself safe? You just hit the deck? Did you run?
I honestly, at first, I froze because I thought I was in like a simulation. It felt fake in the very moment, because I'm literally.
Y'all better not be trying to clown her in the comments and shit, because it's like, what y'all would have done if y'all was in that situation? You feel me? Like, y'all wouldn't know how to react. So it's like, don't be trying to sit there and clown her and shit like that. You feel me? Like go show her some love and shit. Like, y'all be too quick to get on the nigga tail and shit. Like, y'all need to chill out with that shit, folks.
Man, and I see the smoke leaving the gun, but it's just not registering to me, because I think it was the fact that I recognized his face. If it was someone that I had never seen before, then I feel like it would have been realer in that moment. But the fact that this is somebody that I worked with and I talked to and I was next to every day, it was just like, this can't be real. And so I saw all of my coworkers, diving onto the floor, and I'm just looking around like, what's going on? And then once I saw blood, I was like, oh, this is really real. And then that's when it processed that, like, you have to run or you're gonna die. And then I just booked it through the store, and all I kept saying was, don't trip, don't fall, don't look back, just run. And that's exactly what I did. I just ran straight for the front door.
And the crazy part is, folks, it's like, she was probably thinking like today was like a normal day and shit, you feel me? Like any other day, folks, like, and then this shit just happened, folks, out of the blue, like this shit crazy, folks. I ain't gonna lie, this shit crazy, but I send my condolences to them 6 people that lost their life and shit. Like, come on, bro. The manager, folks, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You supposed to be over everybody trying to, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what was his motive. Like, why did you kill them? Like, what was the whole point of killing them? Like, I'm trying to figure that out, but I can't. Like, this shit crazy, bro.
Cannot imagine what you went through. Tell us, if you can, a little bit about the supervisor, about the shooter. You said you felt uneasy about the employee meeting leading up to the shooting. Was it because of something about the supervisor, about the shooter?
Like, come on, dog. Come on, man.
Not necessarily that night, like not necessarily last night, but I would say he was just the supervisor that everyone warned everybody else about. So when you first started at that job, it was like, okay, this is the supervisor that is most likely gonna pick on you, or he's gonna have it.
But I tell y'all, folks, it be them managers, folks. Like, you gotta watch out for managers like that, folks. Like, you gotta, man, what? I would have peeped the signs for the beginning and shit. Like, I would have left. Like, come on, bruh. Like, you could just tell when somebody gonna do some shit later on down the line. Like, some motherfuckers smart and intelligent and shit. Like, motherfuckers could tell before, that's why motherfuckers be leaving out of, like, certain situations and shit before it actually occurs, folks. Like, some motherfuckers, they smart, folks. But, like, shit, I would have peeped it from the beginning, folks. Like, I just don't know, folks. Like, this shit crazy, folks.
With what you do and things like that. So, I had to note it in the back of my head that, okay, cool, we might run into an issue, but I never thought that it would be anything to this extent. Because like I said, he didn't say anything. He didn't point to anyone specific. He didn't aim at anyone specific. It was like he was just out to get any and everybody that he worked with. He genuinely just did not care.
And Brianna, you said it was a handgun that he was using?
Yes.
You got a sense of how many shots he got off?
He let off probably about 8 to 10 in the break room alone. Like, he was just literally just swaying his arm back and forth, and he was just shooting. I would say he let about a whole clip out. I would.
Shit, but I ain't never heard, like.
And Brianna, you say you've been working at that store for just a couple of months. What more can you tell us about this suspect? Did you have a sense that this was a guy who wasn't right?
I mean, he always gave off like he was like the loner type. Like he was quiet and to himself. I will say that he just, he gave off the vibe that was just like.
I gotta peep motherfuckers like that, like motherfuckers who quiet and shit. Like, you feel me? Like, you gotta peep signs who who get to acting weird and shit. Like, you just gotta peep shit, folks. Them be the dangerous motherfuckers, you feel me? You just gotta peep shit, folks. And I don't give a fuck what nobody else talk about, folks. Like, folks, you just gotta peep shit, folks. You can't let shit go by, folks. Like, if some shit happened the first time, like signs and shit, you gotta be on point, folks. Like, that's why motherfuckers be losing their lives and shit, like. Y'all don't be on point, folks.
Talk to him unless you have to. Like, I've never once had like a joyous, fun conversation with him. It was always about work, and that was it. So whereas with everybody else, a lot of people, they laugh, they joke. I have other supervisors that I can, talk to casually. But with him, it was always just like a straight shot. Okay, this is what we're doing. This is what it is. So he wasn't like the fun, bubbly type of person. So I can't really say anything about him other than everybody just about had a trivial issue with him at one point. But nobody, I don't think anybody could have ever guessed that he would take it to this extent.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying,
Whatever
folks.
this is, he kept inside of. Now, how has the store
I'm saying,
and the company responded to employees after the shooting? Have you heard from anyone to
Like,
reach out to you, make sure you're okay, you're doing?
like you wouldn't expect it to be the ones like that's closest to you, folks. Like that go for any like family member. That go for anybody, folks, that you cool with, like that you love and shit. You wouldn't expect them to sit. That shit crazy, folks. Like that shit crazy, folks. And I ain't even trying to be on. And I ain't even trying to be on no weird shit about how I'm trying to explain this shit, but you wouldn't expect it to be somebody close to you, folks, to actually do this shit, folks. Like this shit crazy, folks. That's exactly why I don't fuck with nobody, folks. Like on some real shit. This is exactly why I keep my distance and shit. This shit.
You have what you need.
I haven't heard from anyone officially. I have talked to my other coworkers, and they've asked that, you know, if I was okay. There were coworkers outside of the store last night, of course, after everything happened, so we were all checking in with each other. Someone did come up to me and get my first and last name and make sure that, you know, I was accounted for in the group of the employees, but I haven't spoken to like any like corporate or any like a store managers or anything like that. No, not yet. No, sir.
You know, Brianna, I must say, I'm just so impressed with how strong you are in this moment. It's
Thank you.
terrifying.
All right, y'all. This is gonna be the end of this video. Make sure y'all like and subscribe and shit. And stay tuned. I got some more videos dropping tomorrow. But other than that, I love y'all, man. Peace.